The apex cubs were a nightmare dressed in fur. Bred from the fiercest predators of the Jacquard jungles, their hides were armored like plated stone, their teeth could shear through starship alloy, and their bite force was measured in tons. Even as younglings, they were engineered to be Dominion war beasts, fierce, loyal, unstoppable. Except they weren't loyal. Not to anyone. The Dominion's finest handlers had tried. They brought sonic whips, pheromone regulators, shock harnesses, even nutrient serums designed to chemically enforce obedience. And still, the cubs snarled, snapped, and refused to eat. They shredded drones. They mauled trainers. They sat for days, eyes glowing with hunger and fury, but turned away every tray of meat. They would starve before they submitted. Admiral Varkle, commander of the Apex Initiative, paced behind the reinforced observation glass. His mandibles clicked with mounting rage.
"Billions of credits,"
he hissed.
"And what do I have?"
A dozen sulking beasts.
The xenobiologist beside him, a pale-skinned THRYN, wrung her claws nervously.
They recognize no master, Admiral. Their instincts are beyond our control. Then we will break their instincts.
Varkle snapped. That was when the human walked in. He was nothing impressive by Dominion standards. No armored carapace. No venom glands. No claws or spines. Just a lanky mammal wrapped in fabric, with a strange grin on his face. The guards bristled.
Unwise, Admiral. The cubs will shred him.
But Varkle was desperate enough to risk a spectacle.
Let the mammal try. Perhaps the galaxy will finally learn the futility of human arrogance.
The chamber seals disengaged. The human stepped inside. 12 apex cubs turned their heads in unison. Their nostrils flared. Their growls filled the air like thunder rolling through mountains. Each cub's eyes burned with hunger. The human did not flinch. He crouched low, meeting their gaze.
Not as prey, not as rival, but with a playful spark utterly alien to Dominion psychology. And then, with a ridiculous softness, he said the words that made every alien in the control room freeze.
"Who's a good murder puppy?"
The cubs blinked. For a heartbeat, silence reigned. Then the largest cub padded forward, head low, lips twitching over jagged fangs. Everyone leaned forward, expecting blood. Instead, the beast pressed its massive skull against the human's chest. The human laughed and scratched behind its armored ears.
"That's right. You are?"
The other cubs whined. Actual whined. They crowded closer, tails thrashing, claws gouging deep grooves in the floor, but not in aggression. In excitement. The Dominion handlers gaped. These creatures had rejected the strongest wills of their empire, resisted every technological leash. Yet here they were, rolling over, pawing, and nuzzling a fragile alien who treated them not as weapons, but as pets. The human pulled a ration bar from his pocket and unwrapped it casually. He broke it into chunks.
"Sit,"
he said. Every cub sat, perfectly aligned. The xenobiologist fainted. Admiral Varkle could not comprehend what he was seeing.
"Impossible,"
he whispered.
"They were designed to resist domination."
The human tossed a chunk of the bar to the nearest cub. It snapped the food from the air and wagged its tail like an overgrown wolfhound. The others yipped until he fed them too. One cub, still hesitant, snarled and refused the food tray. The human tilted his head.
"Too good for kibble, huh?"
He reached out, booped the creature's nose with a finger, and grinned.
"Nope. Eat."
The cub ate. From the control deck came the horrified murmurs of Dominion officers.
"They respond to him. They obey him. No species should bend apex predators like this."
But bend they did. Within minutes, the cubs were following the human's commands. Roll over, stay, paw shake. Creatures that had resisted electro-whips and neuroconditioning now tumbled playfully at the sound of one man's voice. Admiral Varkel's mandibles clattered in frustration.
Explain this sorcery, human.
The man shrugged, scratching another cub under the chin.
They're not weapons. They're puppies. You've been trying to terrify them into obedience. You just need to show them they're loved. Loved?
Varkel spat the word like poison.
These beasts are born for war.
The human stood, and the cubs immediately mirrored him, forming a protective half-circle at his side. Their eyes glowed with devotion. Their growls turned outward, directed now at the observation deck itself, as if daring anyone to threaten their chosen master.
They'll fight for you, Admiral,
the human said, voice calm but edged with steel.
But not because you broke them. Because I taught them to trust. And that makes them far more dangerous than your Dominion ever imagined.
The room was silent. For the first time, every alien present realized a terrible truth. The most dangerous creature in the chamber wasn't the apex cubs. It was the human who had tamed them with a smile and a few absurd words.
Who's a good murder puppy?
He said again, grinning as the cubs yipped and wagged their massive tails. And Admiral Varkel felt the first cold edge of fear. Not of the beasts. Of the species that could turn horrors into pets.